another
That's not
thing.
true.
No, I'm
That's not
talking.
true, Ms.
That's not true.
You and Councilmember Yee had a long time without interruption. Now, let's talk about those engineering costs, because we feel a need to do that. Last week we were here, and I said, and once again, and I've said it over and over again, that engineering costs, there are many costs that are paid for by people, by applicants. So they pay it. Well, last week I had asked Supervisor Wrights to please get us together those figures, and of course I was told, well, why don't you get the figures? Well, as the Chief Financial Budget Officer, I figured the supervisor might be doing that, particularly in light of the fact that he has to be preparing for his budget. But once again, I know that, you know, he's been busy, and God bless him. It's a good thing to be busy and in Europe.
Can we not make this personal, please? Thank you.
I'm not making it
Yes,
personal,
you are.
and I
Please,
really do
just
want
stay
to
with the
continue
It's on
facts.
display. People can make their own judgment.
Not at all. I'm giving the supervisor a reason why he couldn't get these figures together. So, of course, we asked the accountant, and it says the general fund townwide paid $43,800.62 to Nathan Jacobson for general engineering services. When you compare that to what's being touted as all of these monies that Jacobson is paid, that's all you paid, guys, $43,800.62. That's what the town paid. Applicants pay the rest. The general fund outside village paid Nathan Jacobson $32,112.45 for planning board review, which is paid from inspection fees. In 2009, the town paid $153,719.86 to Sterling Environmental, which I think was an RFP.
Yes.
Yes, that was the result of an RFP for landfill closure costs. These costs have been paid from transfers from other funds that do not involve taxes. When the construction begins on this project, the financing of the cost will be paid by taxpayers. But you remember what that is. That's the one that we were under budget. And oh, by the way, a few of the budget items that were mentioned by the supervisor, I hear, is under budget at this time, not above budget. The cost for AKRF Inc., the town planner, just in case you wanted this information, the general fund outside village has paid $17,158.55 for planning board review and $52,959.72 for town planning and architectural board review. So those are your figures, and as I said, applicants and inspection fees pay much of what is being touted as this large amount that Nate Jacobson, because I believe that AKRF also was the result of an RFP?
No.
Okay, so
It's
AKRF.
professional service.
That's professional services, which we're not required to do an RFP on. So as you can see, Nate Jacobson, at this point in time, and the amounts, let's see, general town services, $43,800.62. I would appreciate you not making comments when I talk, because I would love to make comments while you
I'm just
two
clarifying
talk.
what you're saying, that's all.
While you two talk, I don't make the comments.
Okay, let's dial down the
And
hysteria and
dial
make your
down the
point.
hysteria.
Make your point,
That's the
dial
first
down the
time.
hysteria.
That's the first time. So we got a couple of more coming. Hold on to your hats. So at this point in time, what was very important that we speak to is the misrepresentations that have been made. Listen, everyone.
By the comptroller's office?
And once again, it's a draft report, everyone. The comptroller's office said confidential, which meant they didn't want this to happen tonight. So, and of course, it did happen. Oh, you know what the interesting part of it is? When I got the email, I got an email, and you know what the email said? We're supposed to keep this confidential, but we know certain members of the board are going to leak it. And that email wasn't from me. It was from some other member of the board. You didn't send that to me, did you, Councilmember Cullen?
No, but
and
I
Gross
received
didn't
it,
either.
no.
And you know something? I never said anything. We didn't leak anything, but what the heck? We don't need to leak when we can hold up a confidential report that hasn't been commented on and read it to a camera, because guess what? Next year we're running for office.
Can we not make this personal again, please?
I object.
Can we
to
just
the
stick with the
fact- and
facts of
I'm
how we need to
getting-
save
and
money?
Did you send an email to Mike saying that?
I'm telling you right now, we're gonna.
Councilwoman Hudak has the floor.
we're
Go
gonna-
ahead, Councilwoman Hudak.
We're gonna save you the most money we can, but we're not gonna do it in a negative fashion. All we do on this board is talk about negatives. You notice that? Everything is negative. Negative, negative, negative. We have to look at this positively. When I first came on this board, I asked Supervisor Wrights to sit with me, and I said to him, I want to work together. But you know something? All I know is how negative can we continue to be, and how we can attack people, and how we can raise draft reports which are confidential. I find that very difficult. And I want you all to know that once the supervisor's budget comes out, which he says is gonna come out on the 30th, which I'd like to see before the 30th, we are then gonna take a hard and fast look at these numbers. And we're not gonna be I know I'm not gonna be criticizing anyone, but I'll tell you one thing, when I see that report, and I see how badly it's off budget, I'm gonna make certain that I know, I'm gonna make my thoughts known. Thank you.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, if I could just add
Go
to
ahead,
that.
Councilman Cullen.
We were specifically told that this report was confidential, not to be discussed until after the exit interview, which we are going to have tomorrow. It is not appropriate to be talking about it at all. I don't feel that we should even discuss it. I don't know why it was brought up, especially since, Dwight, you sent the email talking about leaks, and it shouldn't be released to former councilman and the town attorney. And here you are.
No, I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
No,
You
I
said you wanted to make sure that there was no leaks on this, and
And
that,
it was leaked out, so.
Oh, no, it just read in public.
now it was.
Pardon me, Councilman Cullen has the floor. National TV.
What do you think?
Please dial down the hysteria.
But just a couple
Councilman
other-
Cullen has the
another
floor.
hysteria.
Go ahead, Councilman Cullen.
Yeah, I mean, some of the, since we are talking about this, and you're talking about the budget, have you ever sat down with our CPA at all and worked out, I mean, who are you working this budget out with? I mean, he's someone that we pay that's supposed to review our books. Did you tell him at the end of the first quarter, as the report says, that he was supposed to, did you call him and ask him what this report was? That he was supposed to do?
Make your point, Councilman
Well,
Cullen.
the point is, you're the full-time supervisor, and I think there's a lot of blame to go around in this confidential report, which isn't finalized yet. But, you know, he told me, because I, this week, have been going around speaking to department heads. I've been off for a couple of days, and, you know, I spoke to him, and he said he never even met you. He doesn't know who you are. You never reached out to him, and he's the CPA that's supposed to be available and work with us, and he works with Ron, and he never had any communication with you. And Ron Hunt said he spoke to you a while ago, but there's been no communication at all. So I would like to, I think, you know, as soon as this budget, we should have communication now. We shouldn't wait till the 30th. We could work together, try to get this resolved. We obviously all want to have a low budget increase or no budget increase where possible, but the more time we have to look at it, the more likely we can come out with a responsible budget. And I think that's the most important thing that we all want to do.
The operative principle of the Clinton administration was deny, delay, destroy. And that's what we see on display tonight by the town board majority, Hudak, Gross, and Cullen. They're not speaking to their vote in January 2010 when I, Councilman Yee, proposed putting out in excess, what will prove to be in excess of $1.6 million in municipal expenditures for public bidding or for RFPs with respect to municipal work regarding engineering, legal, and computer. Instead, you heard them tonight, they're attacking me. I'm this and I'm that. What my point is this board has an obligation, a fiduciary obligation to the town taxpayers. And they refuse to discuss this fiduciary obligation, preferring to attack me personally. So what we need to do, folks, is set aside this dynamic of deny, delay, destroy, which is on display. The report is confidential. The report is a draft. These expenditures and these votes are public. They were made in January. They were made at other times. Failure to have RFPs and so forth. And the fact that one or two went out for RFPs does not provide a fig leaf for the expenditures, millions of dollars in expenditures, which did not. And which went to, as I would phrase it, to grease the folks who have been greased for a generation with public dollars. That's wrong. That's got to stop. We need to focus on municipal expenditures and address the process, because the process is broken.
I think what's happened here is we've gone on to miss the point. The point is that the budget needs to be watched, obviously. And I use the acronym ABC. It's accuse, blame, and complain. And that's what they have done to us. They're accusing you, the supervisor, of not being responsible, which is not true. They blame you for everything, but it's not true. And then they complain all day long, why isn't anything done? And yet we sit down day after day looking to see how we can save a couple dollars. you know, I like to scrutinize the budget. You complain to me about these surplus trucks. That's wonderful that you buy, but it's still money spent out the door. It's not a game that you continue to spend money. The plan is to save money. I proposed last year at this time that I, myself, and I recommended to the other board members to take a pay cut and to freeze my salary, and decided not to. And you laugh at me now, right?
Well,
Because I thought it was funny, right?
I'll tell you why I'm laughing at you, Dwight. I spoke to the accountant today,
Right.
and he said that you make the same money as I do, and that you never told him you wanted a pay cut.
Let me
So
correct-
you never got a pay cut.
Mr. Cullen, if you're going to go behind the doors and talk, but what I had proposed at a town board meeting and in
But you
public-
never followed through, Dwight. You got a raise.
Councilman Cullen.
You got a raise in January. Didn't you
Councilman
realize your
Cullen.
paycheck went up from December?
Councilman Yee has the floor.
And anyone wants to foil
Councilman
any of our
Cullen.
salaries, it's
Councilman
public
Cullen.
information, and please foil Councilman
Councilman Cullen.
Yee's salary and my salary,
Councilman Cullen.
and see what the difference is.
Councilman Cullen,
Why
the
are you
personal
doing that?
attacks, the personal attack.
Listen,
If-
right,
if
exactly.
there was $500 saved, would not
He
address
didn't save
or
anything
vote.
because he took the raise.
Councilman
Mr. Cullen,
Councilman
Mr. Cullen,
Cullen.
again,
Oh,
it's
come on.
the ABC rule. Accuse, you blame, and you complain.
Right.
I had proposed in front of the town board that we all take the pay cut.
Now, you said you were gonna take the
I
pay
missed-
cut. You held up your paycheck,
Councilman Cullen.
and you said
Councilman
that
Yee has
I
the
am
floor.
not taking a pay
Councilman
cut.
Cullen, Councilman
I'm
Yee
not
has the
taking a
floor.
pay raise.
Councilman Cullen,
Michael,
Councilman
please,
Yee has
stop
the
it.
floor. Councilman Yee.
The only reason I have to raise my voice is
Pardon
I'm
me,
going deaf.
Councilman Hudak. Councilman
If I
Yee
hit
has the
this gavel
floor.
anymore, I'm gonna
Councilman
go
Yee
deaf.
has the floor. Councilman Yee has the floor. Councilman Yee.
I gotta buy you
Mr.
all
Gross,
that.
when you mentioned the garbage contract and they didn't have a permit, that's the same analogy that I give, that if you're driving down the road and you look at your windshield and you realize, oh, my registration is going to expire or has expired, or my inspection
another
sticker
analogy.
is up for inspection or has expired. That's a
We've never
basic
understood that.
principle of accounting and/or administrative task, okay? We look to save $857,000, close to $1 million on a garbage contract, and as you walk away and just in a fluff, it is important that we sit here all day long and complain about it, because that's the only way it's going to get through. We need to understand that now the state controller's report comes out, and again, they deflected that. It's a confidential report. I guarantee you tomorrow when you meet with the controller's personnel that nothing in this report will change. Okay? Nothing will change. The town attorney fees have been double-dipped. That engineering firms, 9 out of 11 that they mentioned in this report, have been not requested for an RFP. That the town clerk's office has not been properly submitting the funds to the accounting department. None of that will change in this report. So you can cry as much as you want tonight that this is a confidential report. This information is critical to our budget. And I said in July,
I wouldn't have a problem talking
to
about it.
review the town attorney's Excel spreadsheet that I have prepared, and again I say, the silence is deafening. Nothing has been done about it whatsoever, because you continue to allow it to go on. You continue to allow the double dipping, you continue to allow photocopies to be charged, long-distance phone calls, and you've done nothing, Mr. Cullen. I've asked you once or twice. Please look at this. Did I not? I said, why are we getting charged photocopies? $2,000 to make photocopies. No other employee charges the town to make a photocopy. No other town employee charges to make a long-distance phone call. Yet the town attorney can do it. And I asked you to review that, and you did nothing about it.
You know, I'd just like to know if any of you were at the meeting that was had last week, and we can also check it on the Southeast Town Board website, and I distinctly remember being congratulated by by Council Member Yee regarding our saying that we are going with RFPs. You know, there was at least 5 minutes of congratulations, wonderful, wonderful. My recollection is that's what we said. We said that, yes, we understand it and comprehend it, and yes, certain services that we, at the beginning of the year, we would look into RFPs. So all of a sudden, that's been changed, number one. Number two, I still haven't heard a response. You know, you can use all the acronyms, you could use all the fancy words and the sand flying in your eyes. Let's speak plainly. I would like to have an answer to what we said. Why was a confidential report leaked? It was made confidential not by me, it was made confidential by the issuing agency. Why was that leaked? I need to know that, because once again, it says confidential. We haven't had an opportunity to discuss the results.